So we're working on the pump side of the Firetruck. We've got the engine in pretty good shape. We can't really do anything with the bodywork until we find a cab. That's what I'm hoping to do, is just to hold off on any bodywork and find a cab. So this is seized. We'll turn. So what I think we need to do is get it completely apart where we can get this cover off. The cover itself I don't think is seized. It's what's inside of here. I think it's a brass drum type thing from what I've heard from people and what I've seen in the literature that I can find. And it's probably seized in the housing of the pump. And so we kind of need to get to it. And so I think if we get all this, the gears and everything off, then we could then slide the cover, this cast iron cover, off and just have that. So looks like what we're gonna need to do is get this roll pin out. I'm wondering if we do need to do that. So, we got a roll pin there. Or if we can just get those roll pins out and leave this together. We might not worry about the handle yet. Let's focus here. Let's start with maybe this roll pin. We'll try to work backwards. There's a roll pin here that we could pull out that would then allow this gear to come out, but we may not have to get that one out. If we can get this one out, that might release all of it as a together unit from the thing. You know, yeah. Let's do that. Let's start with that roll pin right there. All right, here's what we got. Push this roll pin up. It's back down now because I got in there with my pry bar and it actually pushed it down when I was trying to pry this thing out of here. We got that out, and a spring and a gear and a shaft. Pulled all that out. There was a little Allen set screw right here. Pulled that out. So then you've got like a little keyway right here with the little key, that Allen head that holds it in place. But I'm trying to figure out, so that key will not come out. It's down in the little keyway. So I'm trying to figure out how that works with getting this gear to slide off. And I don't really know. It's almost like, you know, you'd have to get the whole assembly out and slide the gear that way, because it's hitting right here. There's no spot, you know, where it'll slide further in there. So I'm not real sure. And then this, I haven't tried too hard getting it out. I'm guessing there may be something on the shaft, but I haven't looked real well because I don't know that it'd really help us to get it off. And if it's true about this having to go that way, it may be that you just take the handle off and the whole thing goes out that way. So if this gear won't come off, we haven't really helped ourselves much. I was hoping to get this housing off and leave the drum or whatever's in there in place. Well, I don't know that we can. So I guess let's just work on it and see what it does. I've got a little bit of a gap. I was able to drive a screwdriver in and got a little bit more of a gap. And as you can see, the housing itself, cast iron housing, is loose. You can see it slightly moving. So I don't know. And from what I can tell, in here, there's nothing in there that we can undo. At least that I can see. Yeah. Turn the light on. Let's look again. I got the light on. See, I don't really see anything. There's the back side of that keyway, but we can't do anything with it. You know? I guess we could see if we could drive it that way, but maybe we can drive it. Maybe the gear will slide forward since the keyway goes all the way through. I didn't realize that. Maybe it'll just slide the gear forward. Let me try that. I would think it would. Yeah, I think it's gonna go. I didn't realize it went all the way through. All right, so let's do this. Slide it back. That actually was helpful, because I did not realize that. I may need both hands for this. I'm gonna just slide that forward and I'll bring y'all back. And we got it off. So I think now, I don't think this is holding us or anything. I think now we can try. We've got nothing that should keep us. We'll lube up right there, but there's nothing I don't think that'll keep us from sliding the housing off and getting this thing out of here. It may just be the housing still a little stuck. Alright, it looks like it's loose around the shaft here. So I'm not sure what's actually holding it on. Like I said, I don't think this is held on, and this has got slop in it anyway. It's probably just rusted up. It's probably got a little bit of a flange on the other side of it that's rusted up. And don't worry about the paint. It needed a paint job anyway. There's no way else really to get this thing off. And I really don't want to use heat or anything. And this thing's such a big cast iron thing. It'd take a lot of heat to get into this thing. And I'm not messing up any of our gasket surfaces or anything. I don't know. I guess this one's just probably some silicone. Yeah, I'm gonna work with it some more. Alright, I've got enough now, or I'm getting a little pry bar in here. I can push on it. Tap on it. Tapping it's sliding off. And get another grip on the pry bar. I'm not even tapping hard at this point. We are making some good progress. I forgot to bring y'all back. It's starting to go easier now. I mean, it was pretty easy to begin with, but it's going even easier. I think what we're doing is we're getting some of this penetrant in there. I don't know how long this thing is either. I don't know if we've got, you know, a couple inches of this thing or if it seems like a foot long. No idea. novice, complete novice here. And if you don't know what this is where you adjust the flow versus pressure. It's not loose enough to just swallow it out. Is it coming? No, I don't think it is. Let's see. How long is this thing? Oh, it's not much longer. We've got about 2 or 3 inches left of it, it looks like. What I should try doing, if possible, is get the tops of it. Bottom. Let's just see if we get the rubber part of the hammer handle down in here. If we can, that's what I want to do, turn it. Alright, so it turned. Since it turned, and we lubricated it, that means we got extra lubricant. Look at that. It's really going out. We got it. To be honest, we could probably just turn it a few times and shove it back in there, but it does look like it's brass. Someone online had said that. Awesome. So I'm guessing it just redirects some of the flow from one of the stages of the pump, is my guess. One is more pressure and one is more volume, I guess, maybe. Because it says a 2-stage pump. And so maybe it just, yeah. Alright, so here you go. So you've got an opening there and an opening in the middle. And then that's your outputs. And so I don't know if that center goes to the other side. I guess not. I guess that goes to the other side. Yeah, that goes to your outputs on the other side. So I'm going to clean all this up a little bit, and then I'll probably take some emery cloth and clean up the bore a little bit and really fine grit and clean this up, and then we can put it all back together. It looks like there's an O-ring right there that we'll probably need to make sure is in good shape. And there's a dowel pin, so that is why we could not rotate this thing, although I didn't try to rotate it. That dowel pin goes right in there. So pretty cool. Success. And did I need to disassemble the gear set on it? No. But, you know, why did that not come out? I don't know. Really don't. But I guess it doesn't matter, because we'll just reassemble this and put it all back together. We'll reassemble it with the gear set and everything. Well, it may be that it didn't come out of there because it's seized on this shaft. Now, we saw it wobbling there, but I think it's seized further up maybe, because it's not easily turning. I may reassemble the gear set and see if it'll turn, but right now it's not looking like it wants to. Almost looks like we struck gold. I guess it's not, I don't know. It was all in the pump. It's yellow. It's not, and it may just be some paint or something. I don't know. But it was seized up on here, and I just kept working it back and forth. Once I got the gears on here, I was able to kind of rock it, and then just kept spraying it with lubricant, and it just kept working, kept going a little more and a little more, and finally it goes, and it does have a stop to it, so that works out for trying to find the pressure that'll be easy, you know, because you just put it, when it bottoms out one way, you put it all the way up at the either the pressure or the volume, whichever way. When you go the other way, it starts moving it the other way. It's only going to move one way. You know, it's only going to travel up and down one way, basically. It's going to turn one way and go up, turn one way and go down. So when you bottom out with it traveling all the way to the top, you can just put the indicator at the top, and that'll be max pressure, and then the other will be max volume. So we've got that figured out. I have not drove this all the way back on there, just in case I have to get it back apart. I just drove it far enough to get it working. So we'll clean all this up. I'm probably about to quit for the day, maybe, I don't know. But we still got a lot of cleaning to do. I don't know if I should just get the shop vac and try vacuum that out, or if I can flush it out. Like if I put the water hose in there, is it gonna just travel inside the pump and get stuck in there, or is it actually gonna flush it out, you know, like the inlet or something? I don't know. So I may try doing something like that, see if I can flush it out. It's got to go somewhere, or it's got to come out at it's got to come out somewhere. So I'm hoping I can get it to where it just will flush out here, and it's probably gonna be our best bet. But as you can see, you know, we've just got lots of rust that we're gonna have to just deal with. Problem is, you know, these pumps sit and they're cast iron, and so they rust. And I mean, you can't really stop it from rusting. So, you know, every time this thing sits, it's got moisture in it, it's gonna rust. So, at some point, we're probably gonna have a rust issue, you know, where it, I don't know, where rust causes some kind of an issue. And we're all ready to go back together. I've got it cleaned up. I didn't realize this inside of this is brass. I thought it was just cast into it, but it looks like it's a pressed in brass piece. I hit it with that wire brush thinking it was brass, or thinking it was cast iron, and it ended up being brass, so I was just real careful with it. And then I just put this on my brass wire wheel and cleaned it up, so it's all ready to go back together. I've made a gasket I'll put on there, and it should be good and freed up now. All right, a little homemade gasket we'll put on there. I'll put I'm gonna put just a little bit of black silicone on it to stick the gasket. The gasket material I had is a little curved, just from being rolled up. So just to help set that flat, and then we're gonna put this back together. I think what I'll do first is go ahead and just slip it in without a gasket or anything. Make sure it still turns freely. You know, make sure there's nothing, you know, on that surface in there that might be interfering with it. But I think we're in good shape. You know, and that all looks pretty crusty. I did get in there and just kind of scrape around and try to clear all that stuff out as best I could. And of course I've flushed it out, but you know, this whole pump is really rusty and crusty, but it's what we got, and we're not looking for it to perform like new. You know, if it'll spray a little water, we'll be good with that. And it turns. So we're in good shape there. We're gonna go ahead and take it back apart, put the gasket on it. I'm gonna spray a little bit of this stuff on the inside, just to give it a little protection, I guess, and lubrication. And then I think we'll be good to reassemble. All right, tightened up, and we're working on this piece. And if you're wondering why I didn't paint any of this stuff, it's because the whole pump, everything needs to be painted. So I didn't really see any point of just painting this piece. We'll paint it all at the same time when we get to that. And all back together. So watch the whole thing. Awesome. Oh, one thing down, a million things left to go. And to finish it off, I'm gonna go along here and we'll trim the extra gasket off. Done. We'll actually get some like spray grease. You know, put that penetrating oil on there right now, but we'll put like some spray white lithium on there and really lube this thing up. And I did spray the inside of that. Well, you saw that. I sprayed it with that. So it should be lubricated inside, it's lubricated outside. Hopefully we keep this thing from freezing up, you know, seizing up. I'll make it a point to keep turning this thing, you know, often to keep it from getting stuck. So I think that's it. I think I'm gonna quit. We're pecking away at this thing a little at a time, and you know, eventually we'll have this thing, you know, in operating condition. That's one step forward. And if y'all know of anywhere, I'm in the Houston area, if y'all know of anywhere that I can get, you know, used fire hoses, suction hoses, all that kind of stuff, please let me know, because I don't have any of that. I need nozzle, I need suction hose. Well, take it back. I do have suction hose. This is, I think, 5-inch. This is 6-inch. This is actually 5-inch, so I don't think I actually have a use for this one. I do have a cam lock connector right here, but I don't know. We'll have to see if that fits on there. If it does, we could use a cam lock hose. Let's see. Let's just see. It does. So that's good. We can use a cam lock fire hose. I really probably won't use many hoses on this thing. I don't know if that's, looks like a 3-inch. So 3-inch cam lock hose, or I think these are 2.5 actually. We can tell by, we know this is a 2.5 here. We can tell if that will screw on to one of these. Yeah, got one of these. So let's see. Yep, 2.5. So if you've got any 2.5 NH adapters, hoses, or know a good place to get them, definitely need some help finding some of this stuff. And you know, I don't use this great. I don't need new stuff, you know. So got any lines on that? I might start asking some fire departments, you know, what they do with some of their stuff when it's, you know, too old, because we don't have anything. This is it for what I have. This, and of course the manifolds, the 2 manifolds I have, are the only accessories I have for this truck. So, you know, we need lots of hoses and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I'll probably 1 or 2 hoses is 3, probably max is all I need. So a couple hoses and some fittings, cam lock fittings, adapters, whatever. I don't have to run cam lock. It just seems like that's what you can find now. I'm guessing it's just because what everybody's gone to. So anyway, I'm rambling. If you know of any good lines for stuff in the Houston area, or if you want to donate to the cause, that's awesome. The other thing I need is, if you know, I can't find any information, the primer pump, I think I've got a picture, I'll put it, the coupler for the primer pump needs to be replaced. And I don't know where to source that. It's, if I recall, it's a Hale primer pump, and almost positive on that. And when I look for any kind of parts on that, I can't find anything on it. It looks like everything now is like a direct drive with no coupler in between the pump and the motor. And you know, I can't find parts for that. And I assume it's not a, you know, specific Hale coupler. It's probably something, you know, that I could find somewhere else. So if you know a source for that, like I said, picture here. So I don't know how well you can see that picture, but that's the coupler. And I'm gonna need to try to find that. It's holding out right now, but it's not gonna last if it gets used much more. But I'll really need that to work before I can use the pump. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.